Hello and thanks for joining us for the first of a series of videos on mountain safety. I'm Jim Winchester. The mountain you see behind me is one of Colorado's most beloved 14ers, Crestone Needle. Now the Needle, through its standard route, is not technically the most difficult mountain to climb. However, it still is challenging. The Needle was one of Steve Gladbach's favorite mountains, as he had listed on his peak checklist on 14ers.com. In fact, he summited it 21 times. So what better place to kick off this series than here in front of his favorite mountain in honor of Steve Gladbach, a friend, a mentor, a family man, and a Colorado legend. Steve Gladbach was, in larger circles, well known in the mountaineering community. He was a longtime member of the Colorado Mountain Club and a well-loved member of the 14ers.com community. Steve was an avid and very accomplished Colorado mountaineer. He made 480 successful summits of the 14ers, peaks higher than 14,000 feet. Then on the 13ers list, he made 712 summits, which of course included every single one of the ranked 13ers. Steve successfully prevailed through blizzards and high winter winds to safely stand atop all the 14ers in calendar winter. This amazing feat is shared only by 3 other people in the world. Steve was a mere 10 peaks away from completing all of the Centennial peaks in calendar winter, a feat never before accomplished. Now, besides all of his mountain accomplishments, Steve had one of the most developed sense of altruism of anyone that you could possibly come across on a mountain trail. Steve would frequently shelve his own personal goals and ambitions to help others safely achieve theirs. Now, the stories are endless. Just check out his memorial thread on 14ers.com. It's no coincidence that Steve was a teacher by profession. He taught for many years in the public school system in Pueblo, Colorado. Teaching was his calling. He strongly believed in the power of education and learning. Beyond the mountains, Steve was non-judgmental, compassionate person, willing to go alongside those who waged war against inner struggles. But he found unexpected refuge here in the mountains. To quote John Denver, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found the key for every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away. Sadly, Steve passed away in the summer of his 52nd year. After 2,000 summits, including some of Colorado's most notorious, including the Index and Lizard Head, Steve took his final bow on Thunder Pyramid in the summer of 2013. In one of his online threads, Steve wrote this: "Training highlights preventable mistakes. Please take a series of CMC or private courses designed to build skills. Repeat classes periodically as long as you are a climber. Mentorship and group participation can teach skills. There's always something new to be learned from a partner. Good books, such as Mountaineering, The Freedom of the Hills, are written to teach actual skills and can help." What you will see here through these short videos are the combined efforts of a lot of people, family, friends, and people that Steve Gladbach had climbed with.
Steve brought me underneath his wing and taught me so much. I had no idea what I didn't know.
One of those dear friends who was with Steve on his final summit is Britt Jones.
Steve Gladbach was one of the most experienced mountaineers I know. If an accident can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. And it was Nona Gladbach that actually had the vision that Steve's legacy continue by encouraging others, especially those new to mountaineering, to get the training and the education they need. She knew Steve would want that.
For those of you looking to explore Colorado's beautiful wilderness and the mountains, we hope that this series will enlighten you and encourage you maybe to take a class or two, or at least point you in the right direction of resources that are available. We close in the words of Steve Gladbach, who used to say this at the end of his writings, quoting one of his dear friends, the late Kevin Hayne. Onwards.
Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain